Dave White is complaining about something, and I don't even know what it is. What?
You've given me looks for putting cream in my tea, which is what we watched. What was that movie? That stupid Jane Fonda movie that you were watching and I was sort of half-assedly paying attention to.
Any Wednesday.
Any Wednesday. You're watching that on TCM early this week. Mm-hmm. And Jason Robards is like, aren't you going to be, shouldn't you be nervous that the milkman knows that he should only bring you cream on Thursdays? Because that's when he would stay overnight at her place. Because she was his hot young slut in the city.
Mistress, yes.
Hot young slut. And
so you're being Jason Robards.
No, I've always been doing this. When we have half and half or actual cream in the house, I put it in my tea because it is more delicious that way. And that's what olden times people used to do always.
So half and half is like a relatively recent invention?
What do you mean?
Well, cream isn't the same.
I don't know if half and half is a relatively recent invention. I'm just saying, the more creamy your cream is, whether it be whole milk or half and half or actual cream, which we happen to have in the house right now, that is the best tasting thing for your tea. Okay. So I don't need you and your judgy looks in my face when I'm having to think about podcasting brilliance. I'm trying to think up special things to say about movies for you on this site, and you're just like, oh, putting actual cream in your tea. Sir Lord Fluffinfold and his tea needs. Yeah, I got tea needs. Coffee? You know what coffee does to me? Coffee does bad things to me.
I didn't say you should have coffee.
Inside my belly and the rest of it. And so tea is delicious. But I learned how to drink
doesn't putting dairy in your tea take away all of the positive
I don't give a shit.
Tea effects?
Well, you know what I do in the morning before you are awake?
I know.
When I'm home, I'm awake in the morning being productive and working in the wee early morning hours when I wake up like a farmer and you're still going in the bed, here's what I do. I drink lots of healthful green tea.
That's nice.
With nothing. Okay. But you know what I have in my afternoon? With some perhaps little sugary biscuits of cookies or whatnot. I have actual tea, black tea, PG Tips. I put some half and half or some whole milk or some cream. I'll put in skim milk if that's all we have, but it's not as good.
Knock yourself out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fixing to.
Okay. Your tea habits are fascinating, and
yeah, they are.
And you are listening to Linoleum Knife. The cream fan across the table for me is Dave White. I'm a film critic for movies.com.
The fan of getting his face punched across the table is Alonso Duralde.
You're all talk.
You just wait till I unleash my PG Tips fists of fury on you.
You're killing me.
Not enough.
Okay.
Talk about a movie.
Okay, so this week on the Linoleum Knife podcast, we are talking about, what are we talking about?
I don't know. Start.
Source Code.
We'll talk about Source Code first.
Insidious.
Because that's the one with no spoilers.
And Hop. Yes, and we're not going to do
We're going to spoil the hell out of everything else, but not Source Code because it's too good.
Yes.
And too awesome.
We will keep secrets.
Apparently it only made like $15 million this weekend.
At
least I just went on.
Well, I know Hop was number one.
I never go onto these websites, but I went on to this website, Box Office Mojo.
Yeah.
And they only had coming in like $15 million, and Hop made $1 bajillion.
Right. Well.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm hoping Source Code.
Cream in the tea.
I'm hoping Source Code benefits from word of mouth because it is a lot of fun. It's a thriller with Jake Gyllenhaal, who is an Air Force pilot or Army pilot or something.
Captain Coulter Stevens.
Captain Coulter Stevens, who suddenly...
In my review at movies.com, I asked, why the porn name? What is that?
That is a total porn name. You're right.
That is a porn name.
Yeah.
Coulter Stevens. That's not even a soap opera name. That's a porn name.
Yeah. Falcon exclusive. Coulter Stevens. So he keeps being launched inside the body of some dude who is on a train that is about to blow up.
Okay, here's one spoiler. My favorite part of the movie is when this happens at the very beginning.
When he looks in the mirror?
He looks in the mirror. And he sees the other guy's face because his consciousness is inside the body of some other guy.
Right.
And he sees the other guy's face. This guy's perfectly handsome.
Yeah.
This other guy's face.
But he's no Jake Gyllenhaal.
But Jake Gyllenhaal looks in the mirror and goes, no, 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 no. And I was thinking, I'm hotter than him.
I don't think that's what he had in mind. But anyway, so then he finds out that they basically are sending him to this impending train accident because a terrorist is going to blow up a train going into Chicago, which will be the opening salvo of a huge bombing. And he has 8 minutes to figure out who the bomber is and prevent it from happening. And
he's only got 8 minutes to save the world.
He's only got 8 minutes to save the world. And when he fails, the train blows up, and then he finds himself back in this weird chamber talking to Vera Farmiga over a computer screen, and then, bam, they send him back in again.
It's like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, exactly, but 8 minutes at a time. Every time, he knows what's going to happen, but he's got to keep looking in different nooks and crannies and talking to different passengers to figure out who the hell the bomber is and how to stop things.
He's got to sleuth it out.
From blowing up. It is directed by Duncan Jones, who made his feature debut with Moon a couple years ago, which was really cool, and which is also about a guy trapped in a small space performing repetitive tasks over and over again. And Duncan Jones is the son of David Bowie, and I was thinking that somebody needs to write a thesis.
I was thinking this myself as well.
Well, I wrote it, and then you claim to have made it up, but I think you read that I wrote it.
I dreamed of this up.
Okay, anyway, independently, we both came up with the notion.
We both came up with this idea together because we have...
yes, as some of our listeners complain,
unibrain.
We think too much alike, and that makes our podcast not as interesting as it could be.
Yeah, we're boring because we think too much alike.
Too bad.
We don't actually think too much alike.
No.
You're very different than me.
Totally, yeah. But on this, we agree. Basically, the idea that somebody needs to write a thesis about the fact that Duncan Jones and Sofia Coppola, who were both raised by celebrities and no doubt spent a lot of their childhood sort of tucked away in hotel rooms or whatever, are now making movies about people who are stuck in small spaces.
Right. Every one of Sofia Coppola's movies has been about a girl
in an enclosure.
Yeah.
Whether it's
or multiple girls trapped in a box.
Yeah, whether it's a suburban home or a Japanese hotel or an LA hotel or Versailles. So anyway, some grad student out there needs to run with this. Tell us what you figure out.
I want to see the movies 20 years from now. I want to see the movie that
Suri
Cruz makes. I want to see the movie that Willow Smith makes.
Oh, God.
I want to see the movie that René Charles Angélie makes. And that's Celine Dion's kid.
And
I don't know.
The Jolie Pitts, whoever their kids are.
Yeah.
Shiloh Pitts.
Right. They're going to make interesting movies because one of those kids, one of them, is not going to be an actor,
right,
or a drug addict. They're going to be a director.
Yes.
They're going to be a director. And one of them is going to... And they're all going to make the same kind of movie, just like these two are making.
Exactly.
Not that, I don't want to say just because they're children of celebrities that they are making these movies that are about people who are sort of trapped in little cubes. But
they are making them.
They are making them, and I'm wondering what that means. Is there... it's not like they're making the same kind of movie.
No.
Sofia Coppola's movies are very, dreamy, and their thesis is about torpor.
Ennui.
All of them. I don't even think ennui.
Torpor is a good word.
It's a sort of confined laziness that someone has learned over time. You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything.
Entropy.
Your life is laid out for you.
Yeah.
In this little box, so you might as well enjoy it.
Right. Make it work for you.
And have a nap. Have a nice nap.
And call room service.
That's an okay way to spend a day. Have a nice little nap and call room service. Yeah. And so his movies, Duncan Jones' movies, are, so far, two of them, are sort of sci-fi and
twisty.
And tense and weird and mind-gamey.
Yeah. With shocking reveals.
Do we think this is a shocking reveal?
There are shocking reveals, yeah. Not in that sort of M. Night Shyamalan kind of way.
Surprising.
That's all the movie has
shocking.
to... Okay, not shocking, but surprising.
Yeah.
It's not
stupid and
not lazy and not and that's not the only card it has up its sleeve.
Have I mentioned yet? I actually really think this movie's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I'm super into this movie.
I have to say...
I want everyone to go see it. It's so much fun and it's smart and it's moving, which I didn't expect it to be.
Yeah, but it doesn't hold up to a lot of questions afterwards.
Well, that's
it's one of those
you
plots.
Can't talk about that right now.
I know I'm not gonna, but I'm just saying it is one of those plots that if you are so inclined,
if you're thinking about it afterwards, you go, "Hey, what about?"
You could pick a lot of holes,
but it doesn't matter.
But while you're watching it, it's a lot of fun.
Even after you're done watching it and you have those questions, it doesn't make the movie any less.
Yeah, no. I mean, I had
smart.
I went through that process, and I'm still recommending this film. So.
And I don't know, I may have used this word in my review. It's very humane in that it's like, you don't have to have a film that's got emotional content in it to have it to be a sci-fi action thriller. You don't have to have that at all. In fact, most people have decided that it's dispensable entirely.
Yeah, no kidding.
But
Written by no one.
This one is really, really sort of like, there's these like touches of sort of melancholy going on, especially near the end when stuff all comes to a climax, and you, the audience, you're sitting there thinking, what if that could happen? Like, what if this guy could really do this? What if the technology existed that this could really happen?
What are the implications?
What are the implications of that? And wouldn't it have been great if we could have had that 10 years ago? And
yeah, this is a very post 9/11 movie.
It's a 9/11 movie for real. Yeah, for sure. And so yeah, it's great. It's really fun. It's really smart. It's really cool. And
Michelle Monaghan is really terrific. I mean, it's not
she's just the girl. And she's really good.
She's the girl, but she manages to inject a lot of life into it.
She's way better than being cast as the girl too, because I've seen her in I think every movie she's made now.
Yeah,
and I don't think people know who she is quite yet, but I think she's really cool.
I mean, like that movie, the movie Trucker was.
She's got a face like Bambi. Which I'm totally
she's got a very twinkly face.
Yeah.
She was in this indie movie called Trucker, which was basically sort of like a vehicle for her, basically.
Right.
She just acted the shit out of it, and she was actually, I mean, the movie's, but she's really good. She was really good in Gone Baby Gone. She's really good in even that stupid Eagle Eye movie with Shia LaBeouf.
That terrible Charlize Theron movie about the lady miners.
Oh, where she's in that too?
Or were they minors?
I think they were minors. I didn't see it.
She's in that. She's really good in that.
Yeah.
Better than the movie. Yeah.
So yeah, we like Michelle Monaghan. And Vera Farmiga, another thankless role because it's mainly her at a desk talking through a computer screen.
Right.
But she again finds some notes in there, and the only performance I was not crazy about was Jeffrey Wright as the
I'm okay. I was okay with him
as the mad scientist who created the whole thing. He seemed to be overplaying it just a little bit, but I usually like.
He kept touching his hair. Did you notice that?
I didn't.
He's touching his hair a lot.
Really?
Yeah. That's the stuff I look at in a movie. Everyone else is like.
I thought you watched The Lamps.
I do also watch The Lamps. There were no lamps in this movie.
No.
There was fluorescent light.
Yes. So yeah, check out Source Code. We like you.
Did you just say we like you?
Yes, I did.
Stop doing that. Never do that again on this podcast, or I'm going to quit.
Oh, you're all talking.
No, I'm all talk, and I'm all making real with the consequences too. Me likey. What are you? 7?
Yeah, you don't frighten me.
Me likey. Who said that first in the pop culture universe? Was that Sarah Jessica Parker?
I think it was.
Or some shit. Yeah, quit it.
All right, fine. Just look, Sex and the City 2 sucked, but that doesn't retroactively ruin everything they ever did. The Hair Bear Bunch.
Insidious,
yeah. Boy, it's poltergeisty.
Here's what I learned about Insidious while watching Insidious. Darth Maul got tired of being in retirement and decided he was going to be in a movie again.
Didn't he die in the first Star Wars?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
But if he died, then he's got room to be in other films now.
Oh, there you go.
Now he's in Insidious. Didn't the fire face
creature
look like that? There's a fire
resemblance.
face creature. A resemblance? It's Darth Maul.
Well, look, yeah, it would not be the only movie this movie is ripping off. I mean, it really. I mean, there's some scary stuff in it, but it's so cobbled together from
It's two movies.
It's Poltergeist and Paranormal Activity.
No. I'm sorry, that's not what I meant to say.
Oh,
it's like a one movie divided into two parts.
Oh, right. Okay. Yes.
It rips off all the best stuff from Poltergeist and Paranormal Activity, and a couple other movies. but
Exorcist. And...
yeah. But the first half, by ripping off all that best stuff, real scary, real creepy, real like the kind of movie that would make me come home at night if I were home alone and check the closets and under the beds. I would.
You're a soft touch for that sort of thing.
I am. Well, here's the thing, and we have probably talked about this once before.
I don't think we have. Are you going to talk about the movie that's still...
No. Well, I mean, yeah, okay, sure. I think I did discuss this, though. The Strangers.
I don't think we've talked about it on this
Crappy
show.
movie lingers in my consciousness to this day. And here's what I learned about myself while watching The Strangers. The only kind of movie that scares me anymore is the what's that coming down the dark hallway? Who's in the house?
So if Aaron Sorkin wrote a horror movie, you'd be like...
I'd be real scared. Yeah. What's out there in the dark in my own home? What's making that noise? Who's walking down the hallway toward my bedroom with one doorway that I can't get out of? Who's got me trapped in my own home?
What's that in the closet?
What's that in the closet? Yeah, that's the kind of horror movie that scares the tea with cream out of me. And hang on. Oh, it's so good. So that's what kind of movie this is, the first half.
Yes.
And then the second half is like a spooky ghost house, go into the light, Caroline.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not into
the
that.
beyond.
That doesn't scare me. Once somebody comes along midway through the movie and says, hey, I'm an expert on this sort of thing, and here's what's happening in your house. Well, then the movie's over. That movie's done.
It gets less interesting. Although I did like Lin Shaye as...
The creatures are funny. And like when they're all like making the faces and stuff, because suddenly all these ghosts and monsters and stuff come along, and then it's just not scary anymore. It's just sort of like, when's Darth Maul going to eat that kid?
I did like...
And the kid that Darth Maul does not eat that kid, and I was sort of disappointed.
I did like Lin Shaye in the Beatrice Straight role.
How do I know who she is? How do I know who Lin Shaye is? Where'd she come from?
She's the scary, over-tanned landlady of Cameron Diaz from There's Something About Mary.
Oh, that was her.
That's her.
Nice.
Yeah. So I liked her. But yeah, you're right. Once the movie actually sort of tells you what's going on,
mystery is what you have to have. Yeah. That's why Blair Witch was scary until the very end, because they never explained what it was.
Because the characters themselves don't know, and they're trying to figure it out. The characters don't know,
and even in the movie ends, you know that the Blair Witch got them.
Yeah.
But you don't know why, you don't know how, you don't know who, you don't know what's going on. And that's why it stays like frightening until the very end. Because there's the mystery never stops.
It's never rationalized.
No one walks in the door and goes, "Oh, that mystery? Here, I will now explain it for you."
Yeah,
I don't like that. I want the mystery to stay. That's why Paranormal Activity 2, not very good.
Because they explain it.
Well, because you know what's coming.
Oh, okay.
You know that the spooky house is because of like the chick from the first movie, and so it's you kind of know what's coming.
I'm amazed how much they give away in the trailer for Insidious. Like, what I thought was sort of like a twist that I wouldn't tell people.
No, that's not the big story though.
No, but that's still
it's in the trailer and on the poster, on the ad campaign,
and on the billboard,
on the bus, on the side of the bus.
It's not the house that's haunted.
It's not the house that's haunted, and then it's not the house that's haunted, and then in the trailer she goes, "It's your son."
Yeah, so it's like
it's not really. I mean, that's not exactly it.
It's not the big reveal, but that's still something I would have tried. And if they hadn't have said it, it'd be the sort of thing I would try not to give away in a review.
Right. Well, yeah, because they say that in the ad, it had me looking in the beginning of the movie for what's going on.
Right.
And then the other thing that I didn't like was the casting of Barbara Hershey.
Oh, right.
Not that she's bad, because I think she's fine, but she's too famous to be in this movie, and when she only comes in for a scene and says one thing and then leaves, you're thinking, Well, that must be important.
Yeah.
Because she's Barbara Hershey.
Clearly, we have not seen the last of her.
There's a reason why she's saying these things, these cryptic things.
Right.
These things that don't actually seem to make any sense for the plot whatsoever.
Or they seem innocuous, but because it's Barbara Hershey saying it, you're filing it away as
okay, so she just said that you shouldn't do this, or that she's surprised that something just happened.
Right.
And then you're like, well, that must mean something.
Yeah.
Because
it's Barbara Hershey.
Because Barbara Hershey just said it.
Yeah.
And then she just said, well, I have to go buy some eggs now at the grocery store.
Yeah, no, that's true. Sometimes
I'll be back later to say another weird non sequitur.
Casting kind of, gives some things away. And speaking of spoilers, by the way, I don't think we talked about this last week, and I just want to throw this out there for anybody who might be a film publicist who listens to this thing. Stop playing the soundtrack of the movie we're about to see before a screening.
Okay, I'm going to now explain what you're talking about.
It's a spoiler.
I'm going to explain what you're talking about now. When we go to press screenings,
often at commercial movie theaters, there is one studio that does this over and over and over again. Yes.
And they are the only ones, because I've paid attention.
Really?
They are the only studio that does this over and over again.
Okay.
Their initials are Warner Brothers. When we go to see any movie that they are responsible for, somebody's big fat idea is to play the score and or song soundtrack of the movie before the movie starts. So if it's a movie like, what's some crappy movie that Warner Brothers has put out recently?
Sucker Punch?
All of them. and we say it's like a song score of irritating pop songs. You get to hear those irritating pop songs usually twice before the movie starts, because to get your seat, you have to go there at least about 30 minutes before this movie starts. So you get to run through most of that soundtrack once, maybe twice.
Before then listening to it again in the movie. That doesn't bother me so much. What bothers me is, like, in a movie like Sucker Punch, where they try to use music in an interesting way and in a surprising way.
They don't.
Well, you don't expect to hear Bjork coming out of a reel-to-reel tape player.
They think they're using it in an interesting
I'm not saying
it's crappy covers.
I'm not saying it's successful. I'm just saying they're doing it, and I would rather not know beforehand that they're doing it. Yeah. I would rather not know before seeing Steven Soderbergh's The Informant that Marvin Hamlish has written this wacky, like faux 60s, score. Let me find that out in the movie and make up my mind what I think about it in the movie, and not shove it down my throat beforehand.
It's gross. Quit it, Warner Brothers.
Stop it, Warner Brothers. Okay. Anyway, that's just a brief aside.
Are all their movies bad? I just said all of them a few minutes ago.
They make the Harry Potter movies.
Oh, they do. Yeah, those are great movies.
Yes.
Thank you for the Harry Potter movies, Warner Brothers.
One more to go. And we have one more to go.
We have two more to go.
No.
I'm going to talk about rubber.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, we're already okay.
What minute mark are we at?
We're at 20. We're almost at 23.
You got to hurry up with your talking stuff.
This is not my fault.
Alonso did not see Rubber. I did. It's the movie about the tire that comes to life and makes people's heads explode.
Yes. Oh, that old saw.
It's very. I liked it. I thought it was funny. It might be a little too conceptual for some folks.
It's French.
But it is a French movie, but it's all in English. It's set in the American desert Southwest. It has all American actors. It's only French people behind the camera. And rubbing their sensibility.
Yeah, because the movie is also comments on how audiences watch horror films, right?
Or not just any
just
kind of
films in general.
Films in general, yeah.
Like, there's an audience in the movie watching the tire do its thing that is intended to stand in for the audience that is watching the film. And
I will say that there's a cast member who I know.
Two.
We know two cast members.
Yes.
That was a surprise, because I didn't know going in that I was going to know two of the cast members. And I talked to one of those people, and that person said to me, "I hate that movie." I had a miserable time making it. And I was like, well, I thought it was funny, and I thought you were good. And this person said, Yeah, well, F you.
Well, has he even seen it, or did he have a bad time?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because you could just be like, oh, that was craft service was crappy.
Yeah,
and,
which I'm sure it was. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a low budget.
You're in the desert with French people.
But it's a movie about a tire that comes to life and discovers that it has telekinetic powers, and that it can kill people, and then it chooses to begin killing people. And I, by the middle of the movie, I was sort of feeling a lot of empathy for that tire, and kind of cheering.
Can you see the strings or
cheering it
anything
on? No, you can't. Because through use of score and tire wigglings, you kind of get the feeling that sometimes it's happy and sometimes it's sad and sometimes it's bored and sometimes it's horny and I like that. I think that's great. Like through little shifts of movement or camera or music, you get the feeling of that this tire is experiencing a lot of emotions. I was into that.
Okay, I do kind of want to see this movie.
Yeah, you should see it. It's on demand. You can see it on demand, so you don't even have to wait for it to come out on DVD or go to an art house theater that's 200 miles from your house or whatever. You can watch this movie on demand on your laptop or your cable system,
like from
or
Amazon or whatever. Okay,
yeah. Go to the website rubberthemovie.com and you can see it.
Cool.
They'll tell you, I think, how to make that happen.
Okay. And then there's Hop,
which sucks.
The thing about
it sucks.
I don't even.
It doesn't suck so much that I hated it. It doesn't suck so much that I'm angry. It's a mediocre kind of suck.
That's the thing. I can't even say that it sucks because it's so like, well, it could have been better, but it certainly could have been way, way worse.
Here's what's good about it.
Meh.
There's an egg of destiny in it.
Yes, there is.
The scepter, the egg.
There is an egg of destiny.
The scepter that is the egg of destiny. The Easter Bunny flies around in an egg sleigh.
Yes.
Which is great.
Pulled by chicks.
Pulled by baby chicks. There's a weird cameo by Blind Boys of Alabama.
Yes. I forgot about
It's
that.
like, you're here because children love Blind Boys of Alabama?
Well, it's actually kind of clever as to why they picked the Blind Boys of Alabama
yeah, I know.
for that particular moment.
But I think it's funny that the Blind Boys of Alabama show up and they're in a recording studio recording a song, and they're all wearing matching costumes. Like when the Partridge Family record a song on their old show, it's like they're all wearing their Partridge Family costumes. And you're like, why are the Blind Boys of Alabama wearing matching red outfits in the recording studio?
Look, they don't care what they wear, so as long as it's comfortable, so why not?
They didn't look comfortable. I like that Chelsea Handler was in it for 2 seconds.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
acting like she could not
wait to get out of there.
Barely wait to get off set and barely wait to start using the F word around anybody that was in contact with her.
Yeah,
I don't know why she's in the movie, but I like her whenever she shows up because she looks hungover and she looks angry. Like she just looks generally sort of pissed off about everything.
She's ready to tear you a new one.
I love her for that.
Yeah. I really never needed to see a movie where the Easter Bunny poops jelly beans.
That's the least of the problems.
But that's going to stay with me for a long time.
This movie
and not
is racist against licorice.
Black licorice is gross.
That's racist.
Black licorice has anise in it. That's why it's gross.
One of the reasons
not because it's black.
No, I'm kidding.
It's racist against baby chicks.
Why?
Because it implies that they want to take over Easter.
They do want to take over
and ruin
Easter.
It by.
They do want to
by
ruin
giving
it.
children baskets of worms and
that's what
dead
they
crickets.
Want. That part was documentary. It was weird that
I felt really bad for James Marsden.
Don't feel bad for him. He's rich.
I know, but
you can never feel bad for rich people.
Okay, but they
don't have any problems.
It annoys.
Money can solve any problem they have.
You're right. It annoys the crap out of me though that like a gajillion times more people will see this retarded movie about the Easter Bunny than saw The Box.
The R word. Are we allowed to say that on this?
I don't know what the current take on that is.
You shouldn't use that word.
Okay, I won't say it anymore. Anyway, this ridiculous.
I was told that one time when I said it on the actual radio.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
And I was like, oh yeah, I guess that's
sorry.
I shouldn't say
this inane Easter Bunny movie, and so many more people will have seen that than will have seen The Box.
The box is also weird.
but it's awesome.
Well, but that has nothing to do with... What does that have to do with anything?
I'm just saying that James
Where did you
Marsden,
just pull that out of your butt?
because James Marsden's in both of them, and so like
All right, that's your connection.
that's my connection.
You're different in your brain.
Well, that's what makes us so fascinating.
I like the part where the little kids, and the bunny, and James Marsden sing "I Want Candy."
Yes, with seemingly no idea what that song's actually
about. Effing.
Yeah.
That song is about sex.
It's like that Arrested
So it's
Development
real
episode
creepy.
where they keep singing "Afternoon Delight" at karaoke. You know?
I liked at the end, and here comes a spoiler, where the guy says, "I now pronounce you co-Easter bunnies." So
Well, no, they tell you in the first 5 minutes of the movie what's going to happen.
Right. But you
So
didn't
it's not a
realize they were
surprise.
going to go through like a gay marriage wedding ceremony at
didn't
the
think it
end
was
and
that
get
way.
pronounced co-Easter bunnies. You know, like so. There's a human. It's like this mixed species marriage of human and cartoon rabbit Easter bunny, and then they go off together and they live happily ever after. And one of them gets to be a drummer but still the Easter bunny. Like it's very confusing.
Yeah, I didn't get why. What is he bringing to the
then
table for this?
It's weird because the live action people at the end who've been complaining to James Marsden for the entire film that he just won't get a job, he finally gets a job as the Easter bunny, and they're still pissed off at him.
No, then they're all sort of proud and like.
Not until the Easter.
They don't. Yeah, because they don't
lands.
believe. They don't believe him until the Easter sleigh shows
Why
up.
wouldn't they believe him?
Because he just shows up dressed as Willy Wonka, and they figure he's nuts. I don't know.
But there's a for real Easter bunny. The real human beings acknowledge that.
Not really.
they?
No.
No.
No, it's like in the Santa Claus where the grown-ups don't believe in the Easter.
Well, who brought him that chocolate bunny when he was a kid that he became obsessed with Easter over? That's a main part of the movie.
You're asking a lot of questions. I don't know.
I have a lot of questions because this is a movie filled with questions
Well, it's,
and filled with
and
not
not
candy.
answers.
There's not enough candy in this movie either.
There's a good amount of candy. There's
Not
that.
enough.
There's that giant, fountain
tease
of
you with
jelly
candy.
beans in the Easter bunny
The
lair.
movie needed to shoot candy from the screen
Well,
into my lap.
ideally, yes.
The fact that I had to go bring my own Cadbury cream eggs into the screening to feel the mood, the movie should have provided those.
That's
for
true.
me.
You're right. But no
Should
one
have shot them out of the screen.
no one listens.
They
to
can
us.
make crappy 3D. They can make candy ejecting screens in movie theaters if they want
filmed in Candy-Rama.
to. They could do that.
They could.
If they wanted to, they could do it.
Yeah, but
Well,
they don't want to.
I'm demanding it.
That's the problem. My DVD recommendation this week is not actually a DVD, but it is on Netflix Instant, so that
Mine too.
close enough. Mine is Peter Bogdanovich's "At Long Last Love," which is this notorious flop from the mid '70s. It's a musical.
I will admit it's fascinating to look
Yeah,
at.
it's better than its reputation, and it's just even if you aren't liking it, it's a fascinating train wreck. It's an all Cole Porter musical with the numbers filmed live on the set while they were filming. It's not studio sweetening at all, which might have worked better had there been like actual singers cast in the film. But instead, you have Sybil Shepherd and Burt Reynolds, who at least are game and make
And
a go
then
of
that
it.
guy from Italy.
And then Duilio del Prete, who was never heard from again in this
Duilio
country. The
del
late
Prete.
Duilio del Prete.
Yeah.
And then the late Madeline Kahn, who actually can sing, and she's great. She's the best thing in the movie. She and Eileen Brennan are terrific. And the movie looks great. There's a really cool sort of Art Deco, everything is sort of black, white, and silver. And the film's shot in color, but it almost looks like it's in black and white because of the way the sets are. It has never been released on home video in any format. This has been an embarrassment for Fox for 30 plus years, but it is now on Netflix streaming. It's going to air a few times this month and next month on Fox Movie Channel if you get that.
Now it is an embarrassment of Burt Reynolds' mustache singing.
Oh, I don't know. He has his moments. He has a certain charm, I think.
Yeah.
But so see it.
When I say embarrassment, I meant a lot of it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But it's I grew up reading about it in like the 50 worst films of all time and the Golden Turkey Awards. But so it's see for yourself and see what you think. It's kind of fun.
Everyone in this movie is very pleased with themselves.
Yeah, it's a little smug, but
It's a lot of smug. It's a lot of aren't we clever and funny and ha cha cha.
it is arch. I will grant you. But anyway, it's
I
worth
just
seeing.
would walk through the room while you were watching it and look at the screen and go, yeah, cocaine.
It's a hell of a drug. What's your pick?
Ode to Billy Joe.
Ooh, that's on Netflix?
It's on Netflix Instant
Nice.
right now, based on the hit song by Bobby Gentry in like what 1970. Was that a hit song?
It was the 60s.
69, 70, 71, one of those times.
Yeah.
But this amazing song that I've loved since I was a little child.
One of the great story songs.
One of the great
of
story
the era.
songs of all time. Mysterious, even until the end of the song.
Enigmatic.
Yeah. And now the movie ruins the mystery.
Yes, they try and answer the questions. Well, the movie was directed by Jethro, for one thing.
From Beverly Hillbillies, Jethro
Max Baer Jr.
directed it. And
it
got
stars
Robbie Benson.
and Glynis O'Connor.
One
of our favorite 70s combos.
And it tells you the story of the song, but then it gives you the answers as to why
and they're
Billy
really
Joe McAllister
stupid
jumped
answers.
off the Tallahatchie Bridge.
Yes.
And I don't know that I want to spoil the reason.
No.
I don't want to spoil the reason
Don't tell
because
them.
it's how to describe.
Because it's too fun to say Robbie Benson saying why he jumped, but
Because there's a great
be a big
line in the
spoiler.
movie that I'm kind of burning to say to you right now, but I'm not going to say it to you.
Don't.
Go watch it. Maybe in a couple weeks we'll come back and we'll talk about it. But if you've got Netflix,
See if you can guess which line we're talking about.
and it makes me want to watch it again right now this Sunday afternoon. But I can't because you're fixing to watch Outfest screeners.
Yes, but we should watch it. That would be fun.
But it's so great. I remember going to see it when I was a kid, and telling a neighbor's mom. God, we have to come back in a couple weeks and talk about it. Telling a neighbor's mom about how it ended and why Billy Joe jumps off the bridge. And I was too young to even get what
That meant
what it all meant.
Yeah, I remember when I saw it too. It didn't quite click until
it didn't really click. And when the mom asked me the question about what I meant, I said, "Ooh, gross, no." So anyway,
so two 70s
teen
classics,
suicide, y'all.
not on DVD, but on Netflix streaming. At long last, love, Ode to Billy Joe.
Ode to Billy Joe.
Both named after songs.
Yeah.
All right, so
done.
that is this week's episode. I am on this week's episode of the Popcorn Mafia.
Yes, you are.
With my old boss from The Advocate, Ann Stockwell. Talking about Sucker Punch and Spice World. Yeah. Female empowerment movies.
One of them
a
is.
bad one and a good one.
Guess which one is the good one?
Exactly. So check that out. That's a lot of fun. I want to thank the Sassy Cast for posting one of our episodes as
what did he do? He April Fooled
He April Fooled his listeners by posting one of our episodes.
Our episode? Okay.
So hopefully his listeners weren't too annoyed.
That was very nice of you.
But we appreciate it. And also check out our friends Dennis Hensley and Tony Tripoli on their podcast, The Comedy Couch, with Dennis Hensley and Tony Tripoli, and Blowhard with Malcolm Ingram. And
is
you
he still in Canada? What's going on?
I don't know.
Did he come back?
He just posted a picture of himself standing outside of a Cracker Barrel in Syracuse. But I don't know if that's
not here.
But that's just over the border. Maybe.
Wouldn't it be great if we had a Cracker Barrel here?
That would be nice. Now that we can go there again.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was we were boycotting it. The gays were boycotting it.
I didn't
for years.
even have one. There was no Cracker Barrel.
I know, but
Texas,
had there
so
been
was no
one,
boycott
had I been
going
near
on.
one, I would have had to boycott it. But now they're
I just ate at my first one a couple of years ago.
They're real good
because I wasn't, they weren't around.
In high school, I used to
where
go to
I
when I
was.
was in Atlanta. Yeah,
And oh man, that's some good biscuits and gravy at that place.
Yes, and their fried chicken is nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting off on a tangent. Follow us on Twitter at Linoleum Cast. We got to get a good picture taken soon so we can make a Facebook page.
Of you and me?
Yes. I want to make that happen.
All right.
Drop us a line at linoleumpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you think. Tell your friends. And
pass us along. Should be, if you're listening, you should be part of our street team.
Yes, our ambassadors.
You should tell people to listen to this because we need more listeners.
Yes.
I think we have some listeners.
We have some listeners, and we appreciate...
I know I complained last week that we only have like 35 people following us on Twitter. But that's your fault for not making Twitter a destination that people want to go to read what we say. Well, and also,
you can help.
It doesn't match the actual numbers that you have shown me of
downloads. No.
Which is nice, and we're very happy.
Yes, we appreciate all of you.
Have been very nice,
but tell friends.
But we could be better saturating the market of ears.
Yes. So we'll be here next week. Come back.
So everybody listening, fix that for us.
See you guys next time. Bye.